is Ghost Dad for Pro Audio Star. I'm here at Spencer's desk taking a look at the differences between the new Pioneer controllers, the DDJ S1 and the DDJ T1. We were lucky enough to get the preview units in our warehouse on both of these, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's different about them, and we've gotten a lot of questions of people looking at either one. Now, the obvious thing is that the DDJ S1 is made to work with Serato with 2 channels. Serato's software that they offer with this is called Itch. It's a 2-channel DJ software, and this will control everything you need in Itch. And the DDJ T1 works with Traktor, and the newer versions of Traktor work on 4 decks. So you actually have 4 channel sliders here that controls all 4 decks in Traktor. So if you're already a Traktor person or you're already a Serato person, you probably have your mind pretty well made up on which one you want to get into. If you're just starting with a control interface, maybe you're jumping over from CDJs or turntables, or you're starting digital DJing for the first time, there are some differences in these that I can break down for you now, but do realize they are optimized to work with different softwares. I guess we'll take a look at the DDJ T1 first. This is the 4-channel controller. It works with Traktor. These 4 channels right here, channel sliders right here, are the volumes of each one of your decks. You can assign those to the crossfader if you want. You also have a 3-band EQ up here and ways to send your effects, as well as control your headphone mix, your main out, and shuffle through your library up here with this big knob at the top. The decks are pretty interesting. You have a jog wheel here that's very similar to Pioneer's CDJ 400 line. Feels just about the same. It's very responsive. It's good. You can scratch, you can mix on it. You can also kind of nudge the tracks if you need to. And the rest of the deck is kind of laid out in a really intuitive way to Traktor. You have your effects right here across the top. If you're familiar with Traktor, you know that you have effects banks at the top and up to 3 different ones you can choose from, and you can engage those up here, select your wet, dry, and control the parameters of those effects. Moving down, we have a needle drop function, which is pretty great. This is an easy way to drop through songs if you're looking for a specific place on the track. And the cool thing about Traktor is you can actually use this function without skipping a beat, which is kind of an interesting thing if maybe on the fly you need to skip to a different part of the song. Our loop points under that, along with an auto loop knob right here, which you can use to engage kind of a loop roll function or to make your loop longer or shorter on the fly. And over here, you'll find these buttons that serve 2 functions in Traktor. One is for the move function, where you can actually move forward or back different bars in the song, and then the other one is for our hot cues. So if you have cue points set up in Traktor, you'll be familiar that you have up to 8 of them available, and you can use 4 of them at a time, so you'll actually be shifting between 1 and 4 and 5 and 8, and this is where you use those cue points. Got a nice big pitch slider right here, very similar to the CDJ line. If you've used CDJs before, you'll be familiar with the feel of this, as well as the cue and the play button, which, like I said, CDJ users will feel right at home with these buttons. They feel really great. We've got, moving to the back really quickly, we've got our on-off right here. This can be bus powered or also powered from a DC adapter on the back. I believe if you use the DC adapter, it'll actually light up a little bit brighter. Really not a big difference if you do bus power or not, but you will get some brighter lights out of it. If you're bus powering, it's a little less bright. Over here, we have an auxiliary input, so you do have something available for, say, you want to rock an iPod or a CD player as backup, as well as an RCA master out if you're using it at home. Maybe you're hooking it up to your home speakers, and some 1/4-inch outputs, so you can easily hook it up at the gig and get a nice output there. So there's the quick rundown on the DDJ T1. Like I said, designed to work with Traktor, 4 decks, everything you need right at your fingertips. Moving over to the DDJ S1, this is the Serato model, and right away we notice the absence of 2 channel faders. That's because this works on 2 channels. You've got deck A and B, and you don't actually have full 4-deck control, but Itch is a very capable software, just as capable as Serato at playing, minus the ability to play on 4 channels. We've got our 3-channel EQ above that, kind of the similar style layout. Similar for our master and our headphone, as well as the way to shuffle through our library with this jog wheel button right here, loading up our decks and navigating through our library, also with some buttons here at the top. Our effects controls on here, since Itch now works with effects, are next to the channel, the kind of channel EQ faders, and you have a way to shuffle through the effect, change the parameter on the effect, and then actually dial in the amount of effect you want, turning that effect on and off here with these buttons. As well as selecting where you want to send that effect to either A, B, or to one of your mic or aux channels. Moving over to the deck, we have a similar kind of CDJ style layout I was talking about before. We've got those needle drop functions. Our hot cues are actually located right here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can only set up to 5 hot cues in each, and they're really easy to go ahead and press right there. We've got ways to set our loop points as well as auto loop, do that loop roll function, make it longer or shorter. Needle drop right in the same place. We've got ways to select our vinyl speed adjust. So this is actually when you're breaking the record. CDJ users will know what this is about. When you hit pause, this will actually simulate the feel of a vinyl record slowing down and making that cool kind of slow down effect, as well as ways to engage vinyl mode on the actual platter so that you can scratch. Nice big pitch slider, the exact same one that you'll find on the other unit. As well as something called slip mode, which is kind of a cool thing in itch that lets you kind of jog the record back or go to different cue points or loop points without actually skipping a beat in the song. It'll actually go back to where you were in the initial track, which is pretty cool. Another big difference on this is that we have 2 inputs for microphones. We have one nice big microphone input here, where you can use an XLR or a 1/4 inch to get your mic in, as well as one on the front of the unit here, which is a 1/4 inch mic input. This second mic input functions as an auxiliary channel strip as well. So if you're hooking up an extra CD player or an iPod or maybe even another DJ setup to run through, you can hook that up right in the back here. And there are controls for the EQ and the effects on those mic channels, which is kind of nice to have. Looking at the back, we have an XLR output on here, so you can hook it up at the gig real easily. Again, RCA outputs to hook it up at home. And again, this is USB bus powered or powered via the DC adapter that is included. So that was just a really brief overview of these 2 units. Tried to touch on as much as I can. I didn't get to everything. They're both very capable. Realize that Serato and Traktor are kind of the 2 standards in the pro DJ world. And if you're not into one yet, you've definitely got a decision to make, but I don't think you'll be disappointed either way. They're both very capable software. Serato tends to be something that's a little easier for people who haven't DJed before to get into, I feel like. Traktor has the edge in that it's a little more customizable if you get in there and really change your different mappings and settings and do your different things. Do your homework at home, do your research, check out which one you're into, and check out these 2 units because they're super capable and fun, I must say. We have some feature videos coming out on these units. We'll put links to them right here in this video so that you can click on these controllers and see the video of the feature video of our guest DJs who mixed on these units and did a really awesome job for you guys. Thanks for checking us out and the differences between these 2 units here at ProAudioStar.com. Is that good?